So today we're exploring how you can make money with 3D printing, but not actually printing anything. We're talking about making money with the 3D designs. Creating those 3D designs for free on one website without even having any experience doing that, and then getting paid for it on another website where you don't even have to generate the traffic. And if you stick around long enough, I'll show you a second source of traffic that can possibly get more eyeballs and wallets to your store. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first website we'll be checking out is myminifactory.com. This is a really cool website that would allow you to create a store to sell your 3D designs. Basically, this store connects two different types of people. People who want to buy 3D designs to print, and then people who want to get paid for making 3D designs. In case you're wondering if 3D printing is something that is trending right now, according to Google Trends, it has been consistent over the past few years and rising. On YouTube alone, for the past month, on average, has over 10 million searches each month. And the good thing about myminifactory.com is that it gets a lot of organic traffic each month. As you can see right here on Ubersuggest, it gets over 300,000 monthly visitors. Keep in mind, these are not people who are just interested in printing something or designs. This website, it's specific to 3D designs and getting them printed. So people who are visiting this site is already interested in 3D designs and 3D printing. This also increases the chances of somebody buying something. So basically what you're going to have is a store here where a buyer would hit store, come down to one of these featured products, click it. After they make the decision on whether they want to buy this product and they hit add files to cart and purchase, the good thing about this site as well is, unlike similar sites that take a large chunk of the profits, you get to earn 90% of the sale. So 90% of the sale goes to the designer, which in this case is going to be you. But don't worry about the 3D designs as yet. You're not going to need any 3D experience to create those designs, and I'll show you that in a minute. So what you're going to simply do is head over to contribute, open a store, and you simply come down to open your store. But as you can see here, it says open your store for $24.99 per month, where you earn 90% from the sales. Don't panic as yet, because I will show you a little later in the video how you can get the money for that for free. And the truth is, once you make a few sales, just a few sales, you should be able to more than make back this $24.99. So let's go into opening your store. The registration process is simple. Just hit join now and follow the basic instructions. So once you've registered and you're logged in, you simply come up to upload and hit 3D object to upload your 3D design. But of course you need to have a 3D design to upload here. So now we're going to make the 3D design for free and with no experience at all. But what we want to do is make sure that something that we're trying to sell on myminifactory.com, we want to make sure that it's already selling. We don't want to just pitch an idea, put in the work, create a product, and then we get zero sales. So what we're going to do is a little bit of research first to see something that is actually selling, and then we're going to make the product. So what you want to do to get started with this is head over to Explore tab, then just choose a category. Let's just choose fashion and accessories. And you can see on the left-hand side here, you can sort by magic. So you have popularity, date published, and views. We're going to choose popularity. So the stuff here is going to be the most popular items for sale on the site in that category. So we can simply just choose something here that we want to proceed with. Another thing that you can do is search for something that a lot of people already use. For example, a cup. Everybody uses cups. So you can simply search for cups and then narrow down the search on your left-hand side here. But as you can see already, there are a lot of options to choose from here. Cups that are getting a lot of views and sales. And the reason why I searched for cups is because you want to start with a product that's relatively easy to design. You don't want to start with something too complicated, and when you're at that point, you might want to outsource that part of it, when you're making money, of course. So for the sake of this example, we're going to design a 3D cup. And we're going to create the design of that cup for free with this 3D design tool called Autodesk Tinkercad. Tinkercad is arguably one of the simplest and most intuitive 3D modeling tools could be found online. For free, of course. What makes this so convenient is that it just operates in your browser. You don't have to install anything. And you just create an account for free and you hit create new design. And the interface is very straightforward, but don't panic as yet. You don't have to figure out any of this for yourself. Because it's something popular like a cup, we're just going to look for a tutorial online and make a cup. Okay, so for this example, we're going to design this 3D cup. And this is going to be much simpler than you actually think. So I'm just going to undo everything that I just did, and then I'm going to show you how it could easily be done. You're simply just going to come over to this cylinder here, drag it onto the canvas, stretch it out a little bit, probably make it a little bit taller. Then you're going to come over here now and find something for the handle. So you're just going to take this tool, drag this right here. We need to try flipping it to align it towards the cup. Now we want to simply connect it to the cup. So you're going to come over here now. And here's where you can move things around. So you're going to take this now and move it around. You see, you could easily move around. But what we want to do is put it towards the cup and to make sure it's looking like a handle. Okay, so that does not look like a handle. We want to bring that up a little bit. Okay, so to simply pull this up, there is something like an arrow here. You just hit that and you drag it up. An easy way to view this with a 3D perspective is press Control on your keyboard and then drag and hold left click with your mouse. And you can move around like that to make sure that it's looking good. But as you can see, there's no place inside to pour the coffee. So we need to put a cylinder in there. And to do that, you simply grab this cylinder over here. We're going to make sure it's a little bit taller because we want to see that it's going inside of the cup. So again, Control button on the keyboard, left click and drag on the mouse to see from a top view. And we could just position that in the middle. And then we come back to see how this looks. It's a pretty big handle, but we're just going to go with that because it's just an example. Left click, drag, and you want to highlight everything. And then you simply come up, group. So there's your cup. Of course, you could go in and change all of the colors and play around with it yourself. But this was to simply show you how easy it is to make this 3D design. This could literally take you a few minutes. Of course, if you play around with the program. And once you're finished, you just hit export. And you have an option here for 3D printing. So you have several different options to choose for exporting. Now remember, this is if you want to create the design yourself and you don't want to spend any money. Now if you have some extra cash to spend and less time, you can head over to a site like Fiverr and search for 3D designs. And there are a lot of designers right here. And there are a lot of different designers here with different prices, where you can simply just choose one of them. Let them know what the job entails and let them make it. But let's say you didn't want to spend any money and you created the design yourself. You then head back over to your My Mini Factory, optimize your store, upload your design, and fill out all of the required information here. Tags would be things like cups, coffee mugs, and a detailed description so that when somebody searches for a product like a cup or coffee mug, your product would be showcased in the results. And once you make your first few sales on myminifactory.com, then you can more than afford for a next month of the monthly membership. And as well, if you want to outsource the designing, because if you're making success with one of the products, then it would only make sense to make another 3D design and another, which would increase the chances of more people stumbling upon your store and making a purchase. And at that point, you could start outsourcing the 3D designing. That's if you didn't start to like the process of creating the designs yourself. Then you can save that money. So now that you have your design created and uploaded on your store, you can get traffic directly from myminifactory.com if you optimize it properly. Because as I mentioned, people are coming onto this site to buy 3D designs. But I did promise an additional way for you to get traffic on your store. And that is by using Pinterest. As you can see, I searched for 3D design for print. And on the first, you can consider this the first page. Right here, there is a channel that has only 20 followers. But it ranked on the first page. And this 3D design, if somebody clicks here, it takes them to their My Mini Factory store. So in addition for somebody making purchases by visiting myminifactory.com, somebody can be browsing for something on Pinterest. And this takes them directly to the product for sale on My Mini Factory, which increases the chances of you making additional sales. So just to recap the process, you're heading over to myminifactory.com, going into a category, sorting on the left-hand side for popularity, finding something that is already selling well here. And you can also search for something specific like a cup. Then after you decide on a product, you then find a simple tutorial somewhere online. And you can use YouTube, Google, find something very simple to make if it's your first 3D design. And you're going to use Autodesk Tinkercad to create that 3D design. And I show you how you can easily create this for free. You're not spending any money to create that first 3D design. You then export that and you have it on your store. While you can make sales on My Mini Factory, I showed you an additional channel which is on Pinterest for you to make additional sales. Now, if you follow along with the steps that I outlined in this video, then there's a good chance you're setting yourself up for success in getting those first few sales, which I'm sure will cover the cost of that monthly subscription on myminifactory.com. But if you're looking for an option where you can come up with the money for free for that first month of membership, then you're going to want to check out this video next. Because in that one, I talk about how you can find free photos that you can then sell on another website. And the money that you earn from that, you could reinvest the profits into myminifactory.com membership, where you can then start making money with your 3D designs. So I'll see you over there.